What happens when the gods give a human so much power that it actually threatens the balance of the universe? The story began with the main character, Cain, who walked on a road. Suddenly, he saw a man who was harassing two girls and wanted to kill them. But in the middle of the attack, when the man tried to kill the girls, Cain appeared and saved their lives by jumping on the killer. However, during this act of bravery, he got injured by the killer's knife and died on the spot. But Cain was very happy that he had saved the lives of the girls. After this, the scene shifted to another magical world, where Cain had been reincarnated into a noble family in the form of a child. When he woke up and saw his surroundings, Cain was shocked to find himself in an unfamiliar place. But when he saw his face in the mirror, he became even more shocked because he was now a child. His mother was present with his caretaker, and Cain did not like this situation at all because he still remembered everything about his past life and did not want to be treated like a child. But now, he could not do anything, so he started to analyze everything around him. Then, suddenly, his caretaker came and changed Cain's clothes, which shocked him very much as it felt very inappropriate for him. Then, the family of Cain was introduced. His father, Garm, was the lord of the capital. His mother, Sarah, was very pretty and beautiful, and his sister, Rain. All of them loved Cain very much because he was the third son of Garm, and everyone liked him greatly. By now, Cain understood that this was a world full of magical power and adventurers who killed monsters, because in this world no one was permanently safe, and anything could happen to them at any time. So, the Adventurers Guild fought against the monsters and saved people's lives. Because of this, Cain also wanted to join the guild, but his father stopped him because he was only 3 years old and could not join the guild. Then Cain took permission from his father to read the magical books, because he wanted to become more powerful than his past life and also wanted to become a master of every power. After returning to his room, he started his practice and read the books one by one. He learned many things from the books. Later, Cain's sister helped him and also gave him lectures on magic so that Cain could analyze the powers easily. In this world, everyone had a rank which could increase during their life journey by killing monsters. If anyone killed dangerous monsters, their rank increased easily. His sister was at level 1 rank, but with her help, Cain easily learned fire power, which shocked his caretaker very much. Then, after some time, when Cain had reached the age of 5, the whole family went to the church to receive blessings from the 7 gods. This was the tradition of this world. When any child reached the age of 5, they came to the church and received blessings from the gods. Cain's family arrived in front of the priest, who started to pray in front of the gods by looking at Cain. Then suddenly, a light appeared, and Cain was transported to where all 7 gods were present. They were very happy to see him, but Cain was shocked about how he had arrived in front of the gods. Then all the gods told him about his past life, that he had died a good death because he had died while saving the girls. So all of them, one by one, gave all types of their powers to Cain, but they did not realize how much power they had given him. At that time, Cain was very happy and thanked all the gods for the powers. Then he returned to his normal form, where everyone wondered what had happened, because this type of light had never appeared there before. Then, suddenly, Cain left the place and hid himself in the church. First, he checked his rank, which could range from 0 to 10. It was very shocking for Cain, because no one had ever reached rank 10, and Cain had achieved it at the age of 5. It was very dangerous for him because if anyone found out about him, they would try to kill him. After coming home, when his father asked him to show his rank, Cain showed a rank lower than 10, but his father did not believe it and told everyone who was present there not to tell anyone outside. He also told Cain to hide his rank, otherwise his life would be in danger. And with this power, he killed the most dangerous monster in his palace and saved his sister's life. The next day, when Cain sat with his family, his father was very happy to see him because Cain had learned many things easily, things that a normal boy could not learn. His father told Cain that he had arranged special tutors for him who would teach him everything in 3 years, and that his powers would increase as a result. After hearing this, Cain was very happy and wanted to see his tutors quickly. He spent the whole day in his room thinking about them. The time came, and his tutors arrived. They were 2 girls named Millie and Nina. In his excitement to see them, Cain jumped from his room window and landed on Millie. He first apologized for his mistake, and then a guard introduced them, explaining that Cain was the 3rd son of Lord Garm and that their job was to train him. Both girls were very happy to meet Cain's family. His father told them to begin training Cain, and they started his training from the very first day. When both girls reached the ground and began his training, they were shocked to see his abilities because he was already very gifted and intelligent. Millie then told him to fight with her, and they started fighting with each other. Both Millie and Nina were shocked to see Cain's fighting skills, which were extraordinary as he was very skillful in swordsmanship. He then showed them his magical power, which shocked them even more because they could not believe that a 5-year-old boy could possess such strength. They then made a plan to train Cain outside the palace, in a place where he could fight monsters monsters so that his power would increase further. For this purpose, they went to Lord Garm and asked for permission to take Cain outside. He agreed, and the three of them headed to a grassy land where Cain tried his magical power on a large stone and vanished it within seconds. After seeing this, Millie and Nina understood that he was no ordinary child, because he was also more powerful than both of them. During this time, they also encountered a rabbit monster, and Cain killed it easily. He then put it into his magic bag to show his father and mother, as it was his first hunt. Millie then expressed her wish that she had also wanted to buy a magic bag like his, but she did not have enough money. Then Nina realized that many other monsters were already present nearby. Cain also noticed them and told the girls the exact location of the monsters and their size. However, both girls stopped Cain from going further into the jungle, because many other extremely dangerous and deadly monsters lived there, which were far more powerful, and they were not ready to fight against them. It was during this time that Cain also realized that a great wall had been built on all four sides of the city to protect the people from monster attacks. When Cain checked his rank, he discovered that it had increased greatly, and he was troubled by this because it was a very high rank, even higher than that of S-rank hunters. He chose to hide it. They then went to the guild shop, where everyone had knowledge of the dangerous monsters. After entering, Cain was very happy to speak with the guild shop clerk, who gave them information about the monsters. Suddenly, a man appeared before them with his team and began harassing them. Cain did not like this and tried to stop the man, but the man refused to back down. Cain then fought him and threw him and his entire team out of the shop, shocking everyone present, because a small boy had defeated a powerful hunter. After this, time passed, and Cain grew to the age of 8. His teacher's contract had come to an end, and it was the last day of his training with them. Cain decided to give magical bags to both Nina and Millie as gifts. Before the day ended, he went into the jungle and killed many large and dangerous monsters, including an earth dragon and a blood ogre. However, on his way home, he left his handkerchief behind at the scene. When his father noticed a fire attack in the jungle, he rushed to the spot with his army. But when they arrived, no one was there, only Cain's handkerchief. He returned home and was angry with Cain, because Cain was still young and had no need to go into the jungle alone to fight monsters. After this, Cain met with his tutors, who were very happy to have spent 3 years with him. Before they left, Cain gave them their gift, the magical bags. When they opened them, they were shocked to discover that the bags contained an enormous space inside, large enough to fit an entire palace. Both girls were amazed, but they also knew that this was Cain, and that he was capable of anything. After that, Cain and his father started their journey towards the capital to check whether everything was in order or not. His family was very happy about Cain, because he was the most genius and talented student in their family, so his father made a decision to send him to school to learn many other things. Garm enrolled Cain in school when he reached the age of 10, and by the time Cain turned 12, his sister was very happy to see his rank. But suddenly, Garm felt depressed and thought that during the entire journey, no monster had come in front of them, and he wondered why. Cain then analyzed the whole area and told his father that many monsters had been present there at some point, and that they had also killed many people and tried to damage the carriage. His father sent 2 soldiers to that place, but Cain knew that they were not enough, so he quickly left his place and went towards that location. When Cain reached there, the monsters had already killed many soldiers. Cain saved the lives of the remaining soldiers and killed all the monsters one by one. This shocked all the soldiers that how a 10-year-old kid saved their lives from the monsters. After saving their lives, the soldiers told him that inside the carriage, 2 princesses were present. One was Silk, the daughter of the Duke, and the other was Teles, the daughter of the king of the capital. Both girls were impressed by Cain's powers and wanted to live with him, because during that time, Cain had healed many soldiers easily, and also placed the dead bodies of the fallen soldiers in his magic bag. The girls wanted to live with him and also told his father to hand Cain over to them, and they continued their journey with him. At that time, Garm could not do anything, although Cain did not want this. He agreed because the girls were attached to the royal family. Both girls sat close to Cain and pressed themselves closely to his body, which made Cain totally nervous. After a long journey, when they reached the house, the girls did not want to leave Cain. They also told him to spend the night with them in the same room, which made Cain very uncomfortable. His father told them that Cain would not do this because it was a bad habit, but the girls insisted that they would all sleep in separate beds and asked him not to feel wrong about it. His father could not say anything further, and Cain agreed without wanting to. When the 3 of them entered the room, Cain was very shocked to see the beds, because the girls had moved their beds and attached them closely to his bed, and they fell asleep while looking at him. The next day, Cain's condition was not good, but he met with the commander and handed over the dead bodies he had collected during the fight, and told him to return them to their relatives. Cain then went to meet the king, where many other people were also present, because they all wanted to see the kid who had saved the princesses' lives. Due to witnessing Cain's bravery, the king gave him the reward of Baron, which had never been given to anyone before. Some people disagreed and questioned why the king had given him this reward, but the king silenced them by stating that no one else could have killed those monsters alone. After this, when they all went back, the king and the duke met with Cain and his father, and told him that the Baron reward came with one condition, that both the king and the duke had decided that Cain would marry their daughters. This shocked Cain deeply because he had never imagined such a thing in his life, and he was only 10 years old at the time. The king told him that his engagement with both girls would take place immediately, and that the marriage would happen after he turned 18. Cain rejected this, which made the king and the duke angry, because they already knew that Cain had spent the night with their daughters and had also sat closely with them. They began to blackmail Cain, and he could not do anything, so he agreed to the engagement with both girls. His father was totally shocked to see what had happened to his son at just 10 years of age. When the girls came in, they both also agreed to marry Cain, and now no chance remained for Cain to reject this. After that, Cain reached the place of all 7 gods, who were all in great depression because they had grown bored of their present life, and did not want to sit idle all the time. Due to this, they asked Cain to make something interesting for them that would greatly pass their time. After hearing this, Cain quickly thought of a game in his mind that he had played in his previous past life. He told the gods about this game and then returned to the present to make it. He quickly reached the shop where his friend Parma had been working under her uncle, taking training from him to shape wood into many things. Cain had also come there for one purpose, only to make a game that was played on a wooden board. First, he met with Parma's uncle, who was very happy to see Cain when Parma told him that he was the 3rd son of Lord Garm. This shocked the uncle greatly, because he had never imagined that one day a lord's son would come to his shop. After this, Cain quickly explained the shape and design of the game to him, which was very simple and interesting. The uncle was very excited to make it, so he carefully looked at the instructions Cain gave him and started making the game right away. Cain gave him a gold coin for this work, which was far more than enough for making the game. The uncle completed the game in just one day because he found it very interesting and was excited to play it himself. The next day, he called Cain, who arrived at the shop after some time. When Cain saw the finished game, he was very happy and explained to the uncle how to play it, which was very simple but extremely interesting. However, the uncle was curious about the name of the game. Cain named it Reversi, which the uncle found very attractive and entertaining, and he was very pleased with it. First, they made a contract with the gods and gave the first game to them, because after giving the game to the gods, no one else could make that type of game or copy it for 3 years. Cain then told the uncle to make many more games following this one, but the uncle did not have enough money to make many games at once because his company was not large. After this, Cain gave him many more gold coins for making the games, but he told the uncle to make 2 types of games, one simple version that everyone could play and buy easily, and another high-standard material version made only for royal people, which would be sold at a higher price. The uncle then started his work of making the games. After that, Cain reached the royal hall where everyone was waiting for him, because that was the day of his engagement. He arrived at the palace with his parents, where they first met with the duke and his daughter Silk. They were all very happy to meet each other. Silk was looking very beautiful, and Cain admired her beauty greatly. The two of them then sat together. But after some time, a group of royal children came and made fun of Cain, because they did not know that he was actually a baron himself. They thought he was merely a baron's son. They told him to go outside, and all of them moved to another place. Silk grew very nervous watching this because those children were clearly angry, and did not want Silk to talk with Cain. They showed their power to Cain, which shocked him greatly, because their power levels were not more than level 1. After this, Silk introduced Cain to them, explaining that he was actually a baron himself and not the son of a baron. She told them that he had killed many dangerous monsters alone, and had also saved her life and Teles's life, and she asked them to apologize to him. The children apologized for their mistakes, and quickly left the place to save themselves from further embarrassment. Cain, however, did not take the matter seriously. After this, Silk told him that she wanted to go on a date with him one day, and Cain agreed. But in the middle of this, Teles appeared and became jealous seeing Silk and Cain together. Silk also told her that she and Cain were going on a date, which made Teles even more jealous. but Cain also agreed to go with Tellus, which made the king angry because he had overheard their conversation. The next morning, when Cain reached the palace, the king's manager handed over the keys of the mansion to Cain, because the king had given the mansion to him as a gift. Cain was very happy that from then on, he could live alone in his mansion, just like his father and mother lived in theirs, because the mansion belonged to Cain alone, and he was very excited to see it. After some time, he reached the mansion, but when Cain saw it for the first time, he became shocked, because the palace that the king had gifted him was very dirty and broken. Everything inside the mansion was in bad condition and out of place. Cain quickly used his magic and repaired all the broken things inside the mansion with ease. The mansion now looked very beautiful, and his workers were very happy to see it in such wonderful condition. They started to clean it further, but Cain told them that he had already cleaned it with his magical powers, which shocked all of them greatly, because Cain had made it extraordinarily beautiful. The next day, his family came to see Cain's gift, which was looking very beautiful. His elder brother was also very happy to see that his brother had performed so well, and that due to this the king had gifted him the mansion. The mansion also had a library inside it, and its kitchen was far larger than their home. In the middle of the house, a red dragon was also seated, which shocked his father greatly because he knew that no one could defeat that dragon easily. Even teams had lost many members before they were finally able to kill such a dragon. But Cain told him that he could kill the dragon alone. It was unbelievable for his father that a 10-year-old kid could eliminate that dragon with his powers, but he could not do anything and went back home. After all the family members had left, Cain's workers gave him the advice of throwing a party for all the royal members, because it would strengthen Cain's reputation and standing. Cain agreed to this. He wanted to offer a special menu to all the royal family members. So, he first made glasses that he had used in his past life and then prepared a special drink that shocked all the workers because it was very extraordinary and delicious. When his special worker Sylvia tasted the drink, she was completely overwhelmed by its taste and easily drank too many bottles of it. After this, Cain gave them the recipe for a special burger named Hamburg, which shocked them all. When Sylvia ate the burger, she became very happy because it was too delicious and she had never eaten that type of food before in her life. After this, they all sent special invitation cards to all the royal family members. However, Cain did not want to give a card to the king because he did not like him, and also thought that his face was too ugly and unpleasant. But Sylvia told him to give the card to the king because if they did not give the card to the king, he would feel deeply embarrassed, and that was not good since Cain was the future husband of his daughter. Cain then agreed. The day of the party arrived, and all the people reached Cain's mansion, which was looking so beautiful that no one had thought Cain could decorate it like that. After entering, they were all shocked to see the red dragon in the middle of the house, which frightened them greatly because they had all only heard about this dragon before but had now seen it right in front of their eyes. Cain then served them his special drink, which all of them liked very much after drinking it, because they had never tasted that drink before in their lives. They also became very happy eating the Hamburg burger, which was too delicious and tasty. The king was also very happy to see all of this. After eating and drinking, the king became very pleased and told Cain to give this recipe to his kitchen so that he could eat that food every day. At the end of the party, the most rude person arrived at the mansion, the one who had never liked Cain, because the king had given the reward of Baron to Cain. He told Cain that the mansion was not good, and that he could make the same kind of mansion for his dogs. But when he entered inside, he became shocked to see the red dragon and then realized that Cain was not an ordinary child, and that he had some extraordinary abilities. He became even more shocked when he ate the Hamburg burger and drank the special drink, things he had never seen before in his life. He then asked Cain to give him the recipe, but Cain did not agree and simply said no. At that moment, the king appeared at the spot, and upon seeing him, the rude man quickly apologized and left the place, because the king had never liked him ever since he had spoken against giving the Baron title to Cain. During that time, when Cain went outside, he met Captain Diam, who was very happy to meet him because he already knew the story of Cain's bravery. Diam told him to show the monsters that he had hunted in his life, but Cain shocked him by saying that this place was not enough for them. Then both of them reached the hall, where Cain took out all the monsters from his magical bag and shocked Diam greatly, because it was unbelievable for everyone that a kid could kill such dangerous monsters at that age. Then Diam sharply asked Cain where he had come from. Cain was shocked, but he quickly replied that he was the son of Lord Garm. but Diam thought that he was not from there, so he told him to fight with his guards. Showing himself as powerless, Cain used his wooden sword and started fighting with the guards. Cain defeated all of them with his wooden sword easily, which shocked all of them greatly, but Diam did not let him go. He also told him to fight with their boss, whom Cain thought would be like a monster and dangerous. But she was a most beautiful and pretty elf girl named Tijuana. She first showed affection to Cain, thinking that he was just a kid. But when Diam told her that Cain had defeated all her soldiers, she started fighting with him, because Tijuana had never lost a fight in her life. The fight between her and Cain was very interesting, but in the end, she was defeated by him. Then she quickly told Cain to marry her, because she had made a promise that the man who could defeat her would be the one she married, and that one was now Cain. But he did not agree, because he was already engaged to 2 girls. Then all of them reached the king's room, where Cain was very depressed in front of the king because he did not know what to say to the king about Tijuana, but she made her plan to marry Baron Cain. The king told her that he was already engaged to 2 girls, but Tijuana did not agree. Then the king told her to get permission from her father. They agreed, and she quickly left. Then the king told Lord Garm that his son was very clever with girls. After that, all of them made a plan to ask a question from Cain about who he was. They also decided to give him a book that the first lord of that capital had written in another language, which was Japanese, and no one could read it. But when they gave the book to Cain, he read it easily and told everyone the magical truth that was written inside it. Then, all of them knew the truth that he was not just a kid. He was reincarnated from another world, because their first king, who had written that book, had also been reincarnated from another world, just like Cain. Cain then knew that his lie had been exposed. He told everyone the truth, that he had been reborn into the form of that kid, that he knew everything about his past, and that he had also met with the 7 gods, which shocked all of them greatly, because no one had ever met a god face to face. Due to this, Cain told them that the gods had given him every type of power. When Cain showed his rank, it shocked all of them, as it was no less than that of a god, and Cain had the ability to rule the world in his own way. But Cain begged them to let him live there, because in his past life his mother and father had died, and now he wanted to live with his father, his mother, and his sister. He also told them not to remove him from that capital and that he would not harm anyone. Then the king agreed, because in his mind he was very happy that his daughter had chosen such a powerful boy who could take care of his kingdom in the future and no one could harm their kingdom. The king also told everyone not to share this truth with their relatives, family members, or friends. After this, Tijuana quickly came back with the agreement of her father, who had given her permission to marry Cain. No one could do anything about it. Tijuana then took Cain with her and they started fighting for practice.